Hello and welcome, I'm Saffron from saffrondominises.com, and in today's video we're going to do some EFT for that feeling of I'm not good enough. So I would hesitate to call any emotional experience universal because we're all so unique and we do experience things very differently. But one of the things that is underneath a lot of what we experience, and that is probably as close to universal as any emotional experience can be, is this feeling of I'm not good enough. So it might be that you're feeling not good enough for a certain thing. So I'm not good enough to get the job that I want, to find the partner that I want. I'm not good enough to have a family. I'm not good enough to get more clients. I'm not good enough for whatever it is that you want. It might be that you feel not as good as somebody else. I'm not good enough to be as respected as whoever. So that might be someone from your childhood, it might be someone that you've always compared yourself to, it might be someone that's in your life now that you just can't imagine ever living up to. So if you have an area of your life like this, so a person that you can't live up to, or something that you are aiming for that you just don't feel good enough to ever achieve, then we're going to start tapping on that now. So if you bring your issue to mind, and we'll start tapping here on the side of the hand. So even though I just don't feel good enough to achieve what I want to achieve, I choose to try to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I just don't feel good enough. I'm never going to get this thing that I want, because that's not for people like me. That's for people like whoever it is you're trying to live up to. And still I choose to try to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have this deep down fear that I'm just not good enough. I'm not as good as everyone else. And I'll never achieve what I want. I'm still ready to begin to love and accept myself anyway. I feel like I'm not good enough. I don't feel good enough for this. A part of me feels like I'll never be good enough. It's a really deep fear. And it goes back a long way. I fear that I'm not good enough to get the thing that I want. That's not something for people like me. Other people get those things, and you can use the name of the person that you are thinking of if you like. But I don't get those things. Because I'm just not good enough. And there's a part of me that really believes that. And at the same time, there's another part of me that objects. That feels like actually I am good enough. Or maybe I'm good enough. This deep fear, this I'm not good enough feeling. I wonder where it began. When did I first feel like I wasn't good enough? It might have been a very long time ago. Maybe it was in childhood. This feeling of not being good enough. It's been with me throughout my life. And it's held me back in so many ways. It's often stopped me from even trying. Because I just know that I'm not good enough. So why try? I don't believe this can really happen for me. Because I'm just not good enough. All of this deep, deep fear. I'm recognizing it now. And I'm giving it a voice. Maybe there's some relief in that. In acknowledging that I haven't felt good enough. And maybe as I acknowledge this feeling, I can begin to recognize that it might not be entirely true. What if I am good enough? What if this deep fear is based on false beliefs? Maybe I could have drawn the wrong conclusions about whether or not I'm good enough. Maybe I am good enough. What if that were true? Part of me feels not good enough. And that part of me is still afraid. And that's okay. Because I'm beginning to recognize a part of me that feels that I am good enough. Maybe I'm even better than good enough. Maybe I'm more than good enough. Maybe I'm too good. What would that be like? What would it be like to be more than good enough? I am more than good enough. How does that feel to say? I've carried this belief for a long time. But that doesn't mean that it's true. It just means that it's old. And maybe now it's had its day. Maybe it's time to let go of this old habit of thinking that I'm not good enough. Maybe it's time to recognise that I'm as good as anyone else. I'm more than good enough. More than good enough for the thing that I want. More than good enough to stand alongside whoever it was. Or everyone. I'm ready to accept that I'm good enough now. Part of me feels a little bit scared to do that. And part of me feels really excited. I am good enough. I am good enough. I am more than good enough. I wonder if that could be true. I'm beginning to think that it might be. I'm beginning to see the good things about me. I'm beginning to see where my strengths have been acknowledged. I am more than good enough. Deep breath. So if that brought up any thoughts or memories or emotions, make a note of them now. There was a bit in the middle where it might have brought up some childhood stuff. If that's difficult stuff, don't look at it on your own. Just take responsibility for your own well-being and make sure that you have the emotional support that you need if you're going to work on anything big and difficult. And I'm here for one-to-one sessions if you would like to do that with me, and there are plenty of other really brilliant practitioners around that are also available to work with you. And if things came up that felt not too huge to deal with on your own, then just write about them and tap around the points as you read what you've written and see what comes up from that, and just follow that along, follow your train of thought along as you go, and it will get you to the core of the issue. So I hope that that was helpful for you, and if you have any questions or comments, do let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye!